So I hear you want to see what kind of games are currently at your local Target. Well, let me start by saying each store might be a little bit different with games that they actually have, but most stores are very similar to others. Let's visit my closest Target, which is right now happens to be in Fargo, North Dakota. And let's check out some of their games, including their new releases. Now, Target loves party games, and as you can see, they keep a big section dedicated to these games. Included, you can see a big section for Cards Against Humanity. I enjoy party games here and there, and I think that you can find something in this mix of games that you would enjoy within the party game category. Some games worth mentioning here: Joking Hazard and Exploding Kittens, including their first expansion, Imploding Kittens. Both these games have a big following and are some fun games to check out. If role-playing is your jam, then check out these new Dungeons and Dragons sets that can be used to learn and play Dungeons and Dragons. If you are new to role-playing, or what many people call RPG, role-playing games, then I would check for local gaming groups. These gamers are usually super nice and love including new people into their groups. Well, some of you may not have been able to help glancing up to see a big city and a submarine. These are new for Target and are small games first published by Oink Games. Fake Artist is a game where everyone knows a secret word except for one person, but no one knows who that one person is except for that one person. Players take turns placing lines and drawing on a picture. That one player who doesn't know what everyone else is drawing needs to make up like they do by placing a line as if they know what everyone else is drawing. Everyone at the end of the game will then vote who is the fake artist. But don't make your art so easy, because if the fake artist is able to guess the secret word of what everyone is drawing, then they actually win. Deep Sea Adventure, you are diving in the ocean for lost treasure, but once you pick up treasure, you'll be starting to use your oxygen. You only have so much oxygen, and you need to bring this treasure back up to score points. You need to push your luck to possibly go deeper to get better treasure, while also not going too deep, as you will run out of oxygen. It's a super awesome small game. I've played both of those games, and I love them. Let's continue with some other new games Target has recently placed on their shelves. Jaws by Ravensburger should be on my list of games to review because you can play as Brody from the movie. This game has received great reviews from others. Actually, the day before visiting this Target, I told a boy who was contemplating to buy it or not in the store that it was supposed to be really good, and he took the last one off the shelf. Luckily, they have restocked the shelves. Anyways, in the game, one player plays as the shark, and the other 1 to 3 players will play as characters in the movies, and you will play through 2 different phases of the game. The first one, you're trying to pinpoint where the shark is located while saving swimmers. And then the second part, you will be battling it out on a sinking ship while Jaws is attacking. Next game here is Wakanda, and it's a game that caught my eye and I don't know too much about, but I would love to check it out and see what it's all about. Lastly, Horrified has been talked about by so many people. This would be an excellent game to get and learn to play for your Halloween party. I haven't played this game, but there has been a good buzz about it. In this game, all players play together to rid the town of 7 different monsters that plague that town. The game even includes miniatures of each of these monsters. Different strategies will need to be used for each monster, as they all require different tactics to be defeated. You will also be able to find some small games that have been very popular in the board game industry, like Coop, Welcome to the Dungeon, One Night Werewolf, and The Resistance. Last year, Disney's Villainous came out, which is also a great game. You are playing as different villains from different Disney movies. Each player actually have different winning conditions, and you all have the same base actions, yet you are all doing totally different things to be able to win. It's been such a great popular game, they have come out with 2 expansions for it so far. I wouldn't be surprised if there are still more coming. Some of the modern classic board games also can be found on the shelves. Ticket to Ride Europe, a version for the little ones, Ticket to Ride Journey, and even a 2-player version, Ticket to Ride New York. If you have never played one of these games, please find a way to try it out. Pandemic is also a great modern classic, and more recently, Pandemic Rapid Response has came out in the last year, which is a real-time dice rolling mechanic game to the Pandemic theme, in a more rapid response kind of way. You'll be able to find Seven Wonders, Photosynthesis, and even a new Matt Leacock game from last year, Forbidden Sky. In Forbidden Sky, at the end, you will hopefully form a circuit that you will cause the rocket ship to launch off from its launch pad. It's my favorite of his games. You can see Jurassic Park here, which has intrigued me. I just haven't been able to check it out, but it's something I would be interested in. Some more modern classics is Catan with its expansions and the Game of Thrones version. I'd like to mention some games that tend to be a little more popular than others. Codenames, Betrayal at House on the Hill, and Azul, which I wish I owned myself but still don't. It also looks like Target came out with a different version of the old classics. But these are actually adult-themed games, and I'm not exactly sure why or what they entail, but I bet someone will be intrigued enough to let me know. I've heard some good things about the first Bob Ross game. It's a set collection card game. The second one is Bob Ross Party Game, where your mistakes become your masterpieces. Just One is my newest favorite party game. I was able to play this at Geekway to the West, and I would love to play this again. Now, I haven't played this game, but Wits and Wagers is a great game where you can win by betting on who you think knows their stuff and gives the best answers. I wonder what the Vegas version does to the game. Last year, Target released a bunch of games with themes set in the 70s. You can see Kenny G, keeping it sexy, MacGyver, Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, and the Golden Girls. If it's Pokemon trading cards that you're looking for, then you can see that they have you covered. Don't worry, if you want the newest and latest versions of Monopoly, check out the different types that they have on the shelves. I heard that Monopoly Gamer is actually pretty good, but I still haven't played it. I didn't want this video to be super long, so here are some other games that I'm just going to show you so you know that they can be picked up at Target. Feel free to pause the video to take a better look at these games. If there's a game that you see that you think you're interested in, then I would check out meeplemountain.com to see if there is a review for it. If there isn't, then head to boardgamegeek.com for more information. Also, if you didn't know, Target will slowly place games on their shelves into their clearance section to make room for new releases. Target will sometimes place these games on an end cap or a section dedicated for clearance items, or they'll just leave them on the shelf and put stickers on them. Target starts with a low discount, sometimes 30%, and walks it down a couple weeks at a time. A trick on Target's clearance stickers is it lists the percentage taken off on the top right. Here, on a copy of Bonk, which I already have, or this would be at my house right now, this started at 30% off to 50% off and is now 70% off. I think the steepest Target goes is 90% off, if it even lasts that long. But most games will be gone at 50 to 70% off. If you want to know when Target gets some new titles, then subscribe to the channel and hopefully I'll be able to cover next time they have some new releases. Again, this is Boardgame Brody. I hope you enjoyed this video. Stick around and check out some other board game reviews to see what you might want to get to the table.